Gotham taking on Kansas City Current. This game Saturday, June 7th, 1 p.m. Eastern kickoff, and you can watch it on CBS. But what makes this matchup so intriguing is number 9 Gotham have hit a bit of a slump right now. They're winless in their last 3 NWSL matches prior to the break. They were shut out in all 3. However, they just won the CONCACAF W Champions Cup. So it's this weird, we just won a trophy, but we're not doing too well in league play. And Gotham now is going up against number 1 in the standings, top of the table, 4 points clear of the second place team, Kansas City Current, who are on a 3-game winning streak. This is a big battle, Darian, but when you think about overall the 2 11s as they go head to head, where on the pitch is this game going to be won and lost?
If I'm Gotham, I'm looking at this midfield for Kansas City because they've had these players all in national team camp, getting a lot of training. Who knows what the minutes are going to be coming back from camp. And Gotham's had a bit of a rest since W Champions Cup. I think they showed a lot of confidence. They were putting goals away. Midge Purse is cooking again. They look like they were going back to the strengths of players as opposed to, I think, oversharing the ball at times and not just relying on Esther to score. So I think it's going to come down to the midfield being a little bit more direct, like we saw in the W Champions Cup. And it's going to be a big advantage to them. But at the same time, I'm talking and I'm like, do you really believe this? Because Kansas City, well, they've got Rocky, they've got Vanessa DiBernardo. You can draw Bia in. I mean, they're yacked either way. But if I'm going to go play against a Kansas City Current, I want to do it when most of their players have been out with international call-ups and hopefully are a little more tired.
It's so funny you said that, Darian, because I wrote midfield is where this is going to get won. Then I wrote in the 18s because I feel like Gotham has been a little sloppy in their defensive 18, and that's not something we've typically seen of them. But then I'm thinking about these two teams, and I'm like, where has Kansas City punished teams? And it's been in the channels, right? And guess who's back in that right channel? It's Michelle Cooper. She can absolutely torch a team. So you have Showing on one side, you have Cooper on the other, and they're playing against really 2 center backs, and typically Jess Carter and Lily Reel. And I'm thinking those two have done a great job this season, right? Especially Lily Reel. I think she has stepped into this new position playing as a left outside back in like a really positive way. But I know. Go ahead, say it. Say it. Go Bruins.
I wore my blue. I said go Bruins in case anybody didn't catch that. So I can't help it. I can't help it at this point.
Yeah, you should. But to me, with the pace and kind of the intricate play in the channel of not just those 2 players, think about the impact Izzy Rodriguez has had from that outside back position on the left, and Haley Mace now on the right and stepping in and winning the ball. So it is allowing those 2 to play kind of as pocket wingers at times. They can play in the channel if they want to. I think that is going to be a handful for this Gotham back line. And I am not quite sure that they are going to be able to handle it because I don't feel like they have been as confident as we have seen them in years past defending in open play.
Defensively, Gotham is going to have their hands full. They're going to have to be so organized because of all the numbers, Jordan, as you mentioned, that are literally streaking forward, cutting inside, finding all these different areas of space that Casey has a lot of freedom to do. Izzy Rodriguez, as you mentioned, she's everywhere. If you watch her heat map at times, she cuts inside. I'm like, are you a central midfielder right now? What's happening? She's in the corner of the 18. She's sending crosses in. But I think defensively, Gotham is going to have their hands full and they're going to have to be really organized. But I would argue that offensively, with Midge Purse really finding her stride right now, she's looking more confident now than I think we've seen her in the last 2-3 years because she wants to get back to exactly where she was. I like her on the ball, Jordan, and I like her when she's going end line. Plus they've got Jace, who has also found her footing at Gotham a little bit more in these last couple of weeks. I think playing in the CONCACAF W Champions Cup for Jace has also given her a different wrinkle to find other parts of her game that maybe we haven't seen in NWSL. And I want her to find those against Kansas City. Gotham's going to have to be really brave moving forward. And when they get numbers high, because knowing that Kansas City is going to hurt them if they lose the ball in poor areas and their rest defense isn't structured enough, that's going to be one of the biggest factors for Kansas City. There is a fun fact. Hold on, Dee. I got to give you guys a fun fact.
Okay.
Kansas City has never lost to Gotham in all competitions.
Yep.
I
read that too, and I was pretty shocked.
Yeah. You took the words out of my mouth. And do you guys remember the first time I think I was at this game when I first saw Shawinga play Gotham. And I think Bia, there was like a corner kick. It was cleared out. Bia held the ball up, and Shawinga just put her head down and did like a 70-yard sprint past Gotham's entire backline. I think I've done a breakdown of this on
the one where Neely Martin was like trucking.
Oh, I was like, this poor team. I don't know how you handle Shawinga. I think that there's still that factor, but on the other end of it, the more I'm thinking about it, I mean, Alana Cook is a really, really big loss for Kansas City. I mean, thoughts and healing prayers, soccer gods heal her quickly and proficiently to her. But I think that that's such a big organizational loss. And we saw that in their last game against Chicago, where it's just some of the mistakes we saw last year from Kansas City, where we said, they're leaking goals, but they'll outscore you. It gave that. Chicago is a team trying to figure it out. They should be shutting out a team like Chicago right now. So the fact that off of a set piece, those are big vulnerabilities. I think Gotham can be good on set pieces. They have really good service from Real, Szupanski, Esther getting on the end of it. That's a big opportunity. I'm just hoping we see goals in this game. I feel like it can be very, very open.
Well, we should. And Lisa mentioned that fun fact. Another one is that Gotham led in 4 of the 9 meetings that they've had, but then only to see Kansas City come back and win. So Gotham in this place, like sometimes, I don't know, Dee, you've been playing teams too, where it's like this team just has your number, and no matter what you do right, they find a way. Yeah, it's this like mental block that you can't get over. And maybe it is a boost for Gotham. They come off a big win. They get a trophy already in this season. That's success for me for this Gotham squad. They already are sitting in the middle of summer with a trophy in their cabinet after probably what was a disappointing 2024 coming off of a championship. So I think that is going to give them a boost. When you guys were talking about the forwards, and Lisa, you should go back and watch Darian and I both like be a little shocked when he said best Midge Purse in 2 or 3 years. I like it. I think Purse is getting a lot more confident, and coming off an ACL, it does. It's like these slow little steps that you take. And I do think she is getting more confident. The thing that is hard about me with Gotham right now, and a reason why I don't know when it's going to click, it will click, but it doesn't feel like it's clicked yet, is it still feels too individualistic to me when they do get into the attacking third. Like, I love me some Midge Purse on the ball. Like the plays that you were talking about, Lisa, getting to the end line, creating from there. But then it's like, how are players working off of her? How are players working off of Jace? Like, I think that they're just still trying to find how they all work together in unison with this front line. And once it clicks, it's going to be great. Is it going to click this weekend against Kansas City?
What makes that click? Is it time together, or is it tactics? Is it the system that they're set up in?
I think it's time together. I think their system is chaos. Like, Dee, if you can talk to me about the system, explain to me the system, then awesome. Like, I think I get it. And then I'm like, I don't really know what they're trying to do sometimes. So I'm still even, as somebody that calls games all the time, trying to figure out what Gotham is trying to do. But it's really about reading space and creating space, not just for yourself, but space for players around you. And if you're not used to certain players' movements, you might zig when you need to zag. And you might come into a pocket that then Esther actually wants that pocket, and it's best for you to go in behind. So I think they're trying to figure each other out right now. And they've had players coming back from injury, right? They've had, I think, a little bit more rotation from players that are going to play key roles than we've seen from Gotham in the previous seasons. I believe it's going to click. You can't have these players and it not click. But they're just not as threatening as I think they have been, Darian. And I don't know what that is about them right now. But to me, I just look at the pieces Kansas City have and I think, oh, Kansas City they're going to create more opportunities that they're going to be able to put away. Whereas Gotham, I think, okay, they might create 5. They better score one of those.
Yeah, I think with Gotham, it's the predictability that's come from their game that the W Champions Cup gave me a little bit of hope watching. Oh, you can be more direct. This actually suits the forwards that you have. I mean, there was a chance from Ann Katzenberger straight to Esther in the final match. There was a chance from multiple chances from Lily Real into Midge Purse running in behind. Like, to me, when you're coming back from injury, and Jordan, you can speak to this at length, you need to get back to what brought me to this level. What is my bread and butter that I know from being a young girl made me elite at whatever it is? And Midge Purse, it's getting in behind, it's going 1v1 and taking shots. I think we're seeing that slowly come together for her. And the W Champions Cup was a really great moment. She put some goals away. She looked fantastic. She got penalties. Decision-making is still, I think, the last thing to come when you're coming back from injury like that. But I think from the team that we're used to seeing, where it's with Rose Lavelle and all of the changes they made last year, it was much more of a playmaking team where they shared the ball almost excessively at points. And this year, it's taken so much time to just figure out, at least from my point of view, be a little more direct. You don't have to play pretty football all the time. Make it ugly. Send it over. You have so much speed and tenacity up top. Use it.
And they also have.
Do I think it's going to happen in this game? Maybe over the wing backs. I do think they'll get a goal, but I don't know. I don't know if they'll get a dub.
Gotham has the forwards, D, that can get in behind, but they also have players to deliver beautiful balls. Sonnet, Real, right? And so many of these different players. Jess Carter can play a pretty ball out of the back too.
Mandy.
Yeah, they have both ends that can do it. It's picking and choosing the moments and understanding how the game is flowing, where we can go from there, and how we can hurt the other team. All right, guys, we got to do predictions. You got to hit me. So you guys were like, we're going to have maybe a lot of goals, maybe not a lot of goals. What the heck is happening? What can the people expect?
I'm going to go 3-1 Kansas City. Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. Okay. That was my first score I put down too, Darian, and then I changed it. So maybe do I go back to my first score, or do I go with the 2-1?
My mom always said go with your gut instinct. The first thing that comes to your mind, just rock with it.
Yeah. I kind of feel I'm not convinced this back line is going to be able to handle the pace of the front line for Kansas City. So I had 3-1. I think Gotham will get a goal, and but once Kansas City gets one, this is the hard thing about playing Kansas City. They get one and then they get compact and they sit in this like mid, I wouldn't call it quite a mid block. It's a little past like half field, right? And they keep the lines tight. They say, all right, come on out. We're ready for you. And they get a team stretched. And then what happens? Labonte gets the ball and it's one pass over top the back line. And now you have Schwinga, you have Cooper, you have Bia, who like sneaky speed on Bia. Speed on Bia.
When she gets going.
Yes. So I just feel like if they can get one, they're going to have the space in behind a high Gotham back line, which will inevitably come. And they've been one of the best teams about creating those chances and finishing good transition moments. So, D, I'm going to go the same. I'm going to go 3-1.
Guys,
hell yeah. I know Carl's going to be different. What you got?
Of course, I have to be different. I don't think Kansas City's going to get 3. I don't think defensively Gotham, Juan Carlos Amoros is going to allow that to happen, right? Think of all the film they have, how much they've seen Kansas City score. It's really hard to stop them. So I'll still give them a win, but I'm just going to go 2-1 for them. Okay. And it's going to be that last goal that Kansas City gets is going to be like a huge breakdown, and then Kansas City goes. So I'll give it that one. But big game. That's Saturday, June 7th, KC against Gotham FC, 1 p.m., and you can watch it on CBS